If anyone's there, they've changed the layout of our live videos. Ah, thank you, Nikki. I was just thinking I can't see if people are live. Normally you can see how many there is and stuff. But you've commented, so great. I sent your stuff out for you today, by the way, so that should be with you. They said they haven't had any problems with the post, but I don't know about you guys because I haven't been receiving my posts. So um perfect. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be doing this today. My family and I were talking the other day on video and stuff, and they were saying, "What am I missing?" I was like, "I'm missing teaching. Online courses are doing really well, which is fantastic. Um, I miss that interaction with my students and my customers and everything. I'm missing them all. How's everyone getting on though? I've had a client who wasn't too happy that I won't be doing her lashes. How's everyone else doing with their customers? Everyone being, other than that, they've all been fantastic. Students have been fantastic. So I really appreciate all of you guys that are waiting to come out of isolation and come on a classroom-based course. So yeah, I'm really excited to be doing that, and I really appreciate how great all of you guys have been. I'm just going to log on to my phone. It's 1 o'clock now, just so that I could double check I could see everything that's coming up. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to go through a lot of talking for the first hour. Well, maybe not even an hour, to be honest with you. There's a few things that I want to highlight. And then we're going to have a little bit of a break. Then we're going to have a little bit of a break, a 5-minute break, so that I can set up the camera on my light so that it's facing down so you can see the actual me doing the treatment on the mannequin. Janine, it's so funny you should say that because it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon for blokes to be models for eyelashes. Eyelash extensions, it's great for them to be a model because you could take them off straight away. What I've had recently, I'm loving it. What I've had recently is partners are letting them do, men are letting their girlfriends and wives do lash lifts on them. Now, lashes last 6 to 8 weeks. So if you've got a guy that's letting you lash lift while you're in, well done, he's a keeper. There is also a video that I have sent to some of my students that have sent me their partner's lash lifts. There is a way that you can slightly reverse it if you use Elabana. So if you want me to send that video over to you, just literally let me know. But yeah, can't you try and get them in their sleep? Get them drunk. That might let them do it. Right, guys. So, I've got 2 minutes, so I'll still probably just talk a little bit more for the 2 minutes just to make sure everyone's all up and on. I don't like this new layout at all. Georgina, bless you. I miss you too. I tell you what, I have actually really, really missed my lashes doing them. So I'll show you what I have done, which is going to be another video, by the way. Where is all my stuff? Right, so on Wednesday when we're doing our Russian volume lashes, today we're going to use this as our mannequin, and I'll be demonstrating and doing the practical on this. But when we come to doing the Russians, you don't have to buy a mannequin head. You can buy a sponge. And just literally, that's a round makeup sponge. Hang on a second. These ones. So these are literally round makeup sponges. Let's see, from Amazon. They came next day. Cut it in half and then apply your lashes like so. So I have been practicing as well and creating lots of styles. Now, this, again, I'm going to go into this when we do the Russians as well, but this is a really good tool for marketing. You can't see it that well on the camera, but when I get the light and everything later, I'll show you it again. What I'm going to be doing with these, so these would be my Russians, and these are the difference between individual and Russians. So you, like I said, you can't see it. This will be better when I get my camera on the face down for you. You'll be able to see this. So these are going to be marketing tools. So I'm going to show them what curls you offer, the difference between classics and Russians. I'm going to have a little board, the different curls, so that they can have a look. They could feel them, feel the different thicknesses, etc. So that's a really good marketing tool as well, guys. It's going to be, like I said, on a cardboard. I'll show you all of that. I'm creating a video while I'm doing it, so that the video will be uploaded. Right, ladies, like I said, I'm just going to log in just so that I could see how many people we have got on our live now. When I come back after our break and we're doing the practical, I think I'm going to go back to the old way. I'm one of these. I don't like change. Not when it comes to technology. Oh, I can't wait to see you, Georgina. You make me laugh. Oh, I can't see that I'm on live on our group. Mind you. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing, that's why. So, guys, what have you been doing to keep yourself occupied? Tell me, because I'm getting bored. Has anyone been watching Tiger King? That's the latest thing on Netflix, isn't it? Netflix has kept me alive, to be fair. And also working my online side. I'm loving it when I've had a really busy day and I've worked all day and I'm thinking, yeah, actually I feel like the day's gone, rather than sat around waiting. But yeah, Tiger King, very weird program. Is there anything anyone recommends on Netflix, by the way? Because I kind of feel like I'm all out. I can't see where it even is. No. Right, I'm not ignoring you. Kardashians. I did watch that the other day. Only because it was all over Facebook about Kim Kardashian beating up Khloe or something. I do think it's a bit disgusting, to be honest. I wouldn't touch my sister like that. Horrible. Bacon. I was going to bake. I'm not much of a baker, to be honest. My sister, she's amazing. She does like wedding cakes and everything. And she's got entered a competition. She used to have her own shop. She doesn't do it as much anymore, but she does really good. She's got a certificate from the Queen's Baker. She entered a competition and won. She got first place. So when you've got somebody who's that good at cooking and baking, and I don't bother. I'm one of those packets in an egg. That would do. I like the brownie ones where you put the egg in. I know, Georgina. And then what makes me laugh, Georgina, is the way that the Kardashians then run into their mum. It was like, what? Oh, God, double chin. Right, guys. So, like I said, help us all out. I'm sure you're doing really good, Nikki. You have to send us some pictures so I can have a look. I peeled an orange and took all the white bits off, and it was like a brand new orange with none of the white bits. It looked amazing. I'll send you a picture. I mean, we're all going absolutely mad, aren't we? The stuff that we're doing. Last year, I've used to live in flats where I've never had a garden or anything. I've moved 4 years ago to a little place that's got a little bit of a garden. Well, not a garden, that's a lie, it's concrete. A tiny, tiny little area. It only fits a chair and a table on it, and that's it. I love it. I did plant some flowers, but because it's not very bright where I am, it doesn't get the sun, they didn't grow very well. So I did go out and get some more. So I planted them over the weekend, and I'm not a gardener. But yeah, so anything you think is going to be keeping people occupied, let us all know. Just want to say hello to Tia. Tia's my niece, and I'm missing her. She's in isolation in a different house. We did drop some clothes off to her, but we had to stand, obviously, far away. So Tia, hi. So yeah, it's sad when you can't see your family members. I've been really lucky, to be honest, because I do a lot for my dad, and he's classed as vulnerable. So I've told him he can't go out. So I've been doing his shopping. We've all pitching in. I go and get his tablets and stuff like that for him and drop it off. So I'm lucky I still get to see him. But living on your own, it's hard coping with this isolation. I'm drinking a lot. Is anyone else finding that? Or is that just me? I said, as from next week, I'm going to be trying to get back to normal again. Right, guys. So one thing I want to say before we get started is on Wednesday, we've got our Russian refreshers course. On Monday next week, I'll be doing a brow lamination refreshing course. Wednesday, I will be doing waxing. No, I'm lying. Wednesday, I will be doing, all about body brushing, body wraps. Body wrap course. Telling you why it's important to body brush, the benefits of it, all about helping with your cellulite, slimming, all of that. So everything like that will be on. So this Wednesday, we've got Russians. Monday, we have, I'm going off the top of my head because I left my pad in the sitting room. Monday, we have brow lamination. Wednesday, we have body wrapping. The following week, we will be doing eyebrow shaping, like your threading, your waxing. That will be really, really short refreshers course. So the following week, we will be doing that. Then on the Wednesday, we will be doing either sugaring or waxing. I'm thinking about doing both of them together. At the moment, I'm not too sure. So next couple of weeks, guys, you have loads of refresher courses to do. I am excited. So make sure you log in and everything, purchase our courses and get ready to join us, basically. I'm working off both systems, so we apologise. Can everyone hear me okay? Right, so I want to go into a little bit about your individuals then. Let's get started. I'm going to go and grab my manual. I do really apologise about my head. She is proper beaten. I have ordered a new one. What's everyone finding about Amazon as well? Because I've ordered loads of stuff and it hasn't been on the time that it said it has. I think I'm having bad luck when it's coming to post at the moment, guys. One thing I do want to say, these videos are going to be available to pay back at any time. I will also be adding it onto YouTube. So one thing I will say is if you're doing the Russian ones, your insurance company will require you to be qualified and individual. So just a little heads up, make sure you are individually trained as well as Russians if you want to do Russians. Just getting everything I need. Now, individuals is easier than your Russians. The reason being is Russians you have to learn to fan, etc. like that. And it can be a little bit trickier learning to fan and then getting that fan on that lash. So individuals, it's quite simple. It's simpler, if that makes sense. Right. So if you have any questions at any point, please let me know. I want this to be a real interaction. I want you guys to be able to learn as much as possible from these refresher courses. Can you hear me okay? Am I talking okay? My mum seems to reckon I talk really fast, so please tell me. I'm here to help you guys. So, with individuals, individuals are named, you'll find this across the whole board of lashes. There is so many different names for them. So, individuals people class as classics. I don't like that. I prefer the way that I name things. Otherwise, I wouldn't name it like that. Individual and individual eyelashes. Perfect. Thank you, Janine. Individuals eyelashes. So they're one on one eyelash. So classics, I think it can confuse people because classics can also be a look. So to me, and the way that I've always been taught was classics is a natural look. But if people say, do you offer classic lashes? What they're talking about is individual lashes. So, like I said, individual is one lash per one natural lash. So that is an individual look. That is your classic look. Now, you've got to be really careful with individuals. So individuals are thicker than Russians. Even when Russians are fanned, they are so much more thinner, hence why it's a little bit trickier to get the knack of it. But individuals are thicker than Russians, so they can become heavier. They don't tend to last as long. And the reason being is because when one of those lashes come out, you will notice a big gap because they're thicker. So does that make sense? With the Russians, you're fanning them. So when they're fanned, they are thinner and they have a thinner base. So that will eventually come off little by little, what it should do, or sometimes it does just come off on as a clump. But it depends on everyone's natural lashes. So people's natural lashes really vary. They vary from person to person. On average, we lose, now this always shocks me, and weirdly enough, you're all going to think I'm crazy. Bearing in mind I've been locked in on my own for ages, so I probably have losing it a little bit. But with everybody loses between 2 to 5 of their natural lashes a day. Now, you never notice when your lashes fall out. When I've started noticing them now, I'm like, that's one of my 5 a day. So if you can imagine, if you're losing, say you're one of these people where your hair shreds a lot faster and you're losing 5 lashes a day, if you think over a week, you're looking at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 lashes, natural lashes you've lost, which means that would be 25 individual lashes that would also have come out at that time. So if you can imagine, that is a massive difference. On average, people have between 40 and 80 natural lashes on each eye. However, whatever eye they sleep on, they will have less. And the reason being is you're applying pressure at night and apparently you rub more. So your end lashes on the side you sleep on won't be as nice as the side you don't sleep on. I spoke to a hairdresser who said this is also true for your natural hair. I know. I'm going to have to get one of those airport pillows, those plain ones where you sleep like straight up like that. So yes, if they are losing that many lashes, but it is rare to lose 5, but you can lose between 2 to 5. Now, another thing with lash shredding that absolutely amazes me is I've lost my train of thought because I was too busy looking at my eyebrows then. No, it's October. October apparently is a month. Now, I've asked this on every single training course. I've Googled it. I have done so much trying to find out the reason. But apparently October is known as shredding for your lashes. So keep an eye out this October and see if you notice that your customers are coming back a lot quicker, because that is the month that you're taught that they shred. It's because it's a change of seasons, apparently. Apparently it's like your pet hair. Apparently they shred the most in October. Don't know. Also, they grow a lot faster in the summer because, like anything, like your nails, your natural hair, a little bit of vitamin C, and they will grow really quickly. So you will find that winter months, apart from October, I class October as winter, winter months that they go a little bit longer. Summer months, they will be growing so fast. So you might need to have a little think and assess your situation with some of your customers. So that's a little bit about our eyelashes and them shredding. Anybody have any questions? You can literally just pop them on here. So let's go a little bit into contraindications. You're not a doctor, so you're never going to say to somebody, oh yeah, I think you've got glaucoma, you need to go and see the opticians. Don't tell them stuff like that because then they'll worry. What you would do is just word it nicely and just say, I would advise you to go and see the doctor because this could be, you could say, I'm not sure what it is, or it would be safe to go and get it checked out by your opticians, basically, or doctors. So don't ever diagnose them. Contraindications can be temporary and they can be permanent. So a temporary contraindication can be where they can't have the treatment done until that contraindication is healed or they're over it. Now, this again, I haven't had, it's been rare, but some people can't have eyelashes done in the summer because of hay fever. It irritates their eyes a lot more. So you might have customers that just come to you through winter months. That can happen. So that would be a temporary contraindication. If they have conjunctivitis, that is a temporary contraindication. Now, one thing I want to say about contraindications is customers can't go without eyelashes. It's the best industry to be in with beauty, I personally think, because once you've got people hooked on them, they tend to not be able to go without them. So they will keep coming back and back. But this sadly does mean that they will try and get away with saying that they haven't got contraindication when you might know full well that they have. So I've had it in the past with especially conjunctivitis. It baffles me how they think that you don't know they've got conjunctivitis. Conjunctivitis is so contagious that if you got it as a lash technician, you can't do lashes while you've got conjunctivitis for the obvious reasons. So don't ever risk it. I always say if I've got a customer that I think personally has conjunctivitis, I will say to them, I can't do your lashes. I'm really sorry, but I'm not willing to put myself at risk and I'm not willing to put my other customers at risk. Yeah, you sterilising your tools after every single customer, but that doesn't mean you won't get it. Now, like I said, they will always pull a fast one and try and get you to do them and say, no, my eyes are just red. No, don't risk it. If they went to the doctors, they could get opticians or doctors, they get drops. That could heal within about a week. But it does normally, if they don't go to the doctors, it does take about 2 weeks to naturally heal the eyes themselves. Now, this does depend on their everyday jobs. If they're in an office where there's aircon or a car they're driving with aircon, conjunctivitis will take longer to heal because you're drying your eye out each time. So yeah, conjunctivitis is a no, but as soon as they are healed, if they're saying to you, they're adamant that they haven't had conjunctivitis, they're saying to you, no, I don't have it, I would say go to the opticians then and just get a letter just to say it's okay. Because bearing in mind as well, you need to be following everything your insurance company is telling you to do. So you need to be making sure, because if anything was to go wrong, your insurance company are the ones that are going to be saying, well, no, you shouldn't have done it. And we all know what insurance companies are like. They will do everything they can not to pay out. So yeah, just be really careful. But conjunctivitis would be a temporary one. They can have it done eventually down the line. Laser eye surgery, if they've had laser eye surgery, their eyes are going to be a little bit more sensitive, but that would be a temporary contraindication. Just make sure that I normally wait about 3 months to 6 months for the laser eye surgery, only because, like I said, what laser eye surgery does is it removes a layer from the eye, which makes it more sensitive until it heals. So just be careful. One thing I never had to teach, but these days is getting really popular. If a customer has Botox done, now ideally wait 2 weeks for Botox, because they've had stuff injected and filler. They've had stuff injected in that, again, they're going to be a little bit more sensitive. If they've come to you the day they've had Botox done, that you can't do it. I'm saying wait a week or 2 weeks. Reason being is you lean a lot on their forehead, and if they've had their Botox, you can't really touch them. It is a nightmare. Many years ago, I had a lady who had Botox and then come to me for eyelashes. This was way before the whole insurance changed everything, because Botox wasn't as big back then. So at the time, your insurance were allowing you to do it. And I'll never forget, it was the hardest time to do someone's lashes because I couldn't lean on her forehead. She had something done to her nose. I think it was something, I don't know what I can't remember what it was. But she had something done around here. So I was literally doing like this, trying to get the lashes on. So yes, if they've had Botox, tell them they need to wait. Now, basically, it's really hard because, like I said, you're not a doctor. So how are you going to know if somebody's got a contraindication? It's simple. You're going to look at the circular area, the white area of their eye. Well, it's not simple. That's a bit harsh to say. But you're going to look at the white circular area of the eye. If that is red or showing any signs of bloodshot, anything like that, then literally, no, don't go near them. If their eyes look nice and white, you're fine to go. One thing I find hard about the summer is I suffer from hay fever quite badly. I'm starting to get hay fever, actually. Was it Saturday I started to get it again? My eyes were itchy, my throat was like itchy, my nose was running. Oh, as soon as I took the hay fever tablet after that, I was all right. I'm really worried about having hay fever and the whole coronavirus going around, that people are going to think I've got corona. I mean, I keep blowing my nose. Anyway, so hay fever is a bit of a hard one to tell, if I'm honest, because your eyes are red. It does look like you've cried a lot. Well, some people it does. It does with me. I put eye drops in. Now, again, you just have to be a bit vigilant. Just check, make sure there's not any gunky kind of stuff or residue around, anything like that. So contraindication, always look at the circular area of the eye. Make sure that it's a nice, white, healthy colour. So I've got my manual here. I'm just going to be going through. You do have images online. Dry eye syndrome, again, is a temporary contraindication, because with dry eyes, I suffer from dry eyes. It's absolutely horrible. I put drops in every day and night because I don't know why I'm telling little porcupines today. It's not absolutely horrible. It's just that sometimes when you blink, if they're so dry, you can really feel how dry they are. Now, me being really dappy, went to the opticians when I was younger, and she said, "Oh, you suffer from dry eye syndrome." I said, no, I couldn't. Bear in mind, I'm only about 17, 18. I was like, no, I don't. Oh, are you there? Yeah. I suffer from wet eye. And she, if anything, I said, because they water loads. She was like, no, that's dry eye. So apparently your eyes dry up so much that they water more to make sure that they're more moist. So if you have somebody whose eyes water a lot when you put the pads on, or have the pads doing the lash extensions, then and they're watering and you get like a little bit of pile of water, then that could be because they're suffering from dry eye and the pads are actually drying their eyes out more. So again, that's a temporary one. It's not permanent. You can still do their lashes. It is really hard to do their lashes if they water loads. I tend to try and just keep wiping them or draining off that little bit of water before, like in between doing the treatment. Every time you see it watering loads, just get a bit of tissue and just wipe it away. So that's a little bit about our contraindications. Consultation forms, guys. So I did this on one of my other videos not so long ago. I wasn't aware of this until a recent refreshing course that I went on. Basically, let's get a better angle. Basically, now I hate this. I think we're getting a bit like America. These no win, no fee places. I think we're doing exactly like them. Get rid of those towels in the background. Somebody said I think it is a rare case, I'm not going to lie, but I have taken precautions, and I'm doing this. So I always advise you to take as many photos as possible of your treatments. Now, I'm the worst at doing this. Take as many photos as possible and really load it up. Your case study photos, don't ever delete them. I have still got mine from years ago, about 15 years ago, 15 years ago, 13 years ago. I've still got all of mine, and I think it's great to look back and see how far you've actually come. But use this as your marketing tool for your Facebook and everything. However, what had happened recently was somebody, obviously, I find this really hard to believe that people would do this. So the lash technician, she was taking photos, she was uploading them, she was doing all of that, which was absolutely fine. The lady verbally agreed she could use her photos. Again, lovely, fine. A couple of years later, the business did really well. And the woman then, whether she needed money, and she was, I don't know. I don't know the full situation on it all. But the woman then sued the woman because she said, actually, you use me for a lot of your marketing. Your business is doing well. That was thanks to me. I want some money. It got taken to court and she had to give her some money. She lost. The lash technician lost. So I advise you to take photos of your work. It's important that you do. And a lot of, 9 times out of 10, our clients are lovely. And it's sad that you have to go through certain channels and to feel that somebody would do this to you. Now, like I said, I've only ever heard of the one case. It is rare. However, I have created a form. So if you want the form, please don't comment on this video. Please private message me on the Pampering Angels page, not the group page, the Pampering Angels page, and I will email that over to you. So all it is a little form that says they are happy for you to use the photos on social media, etc., and they're not expecting any fee from it, and nor will they come back at any point down the line to try and gain any financial benefit from you. So if you do want this form, you can literally I can email it over to you and you can print it off or add that part onto your consultation form. So it's important we do a consultation with all of our clients. Why is it important we do it? Because the consultation form gives you time to have a look, any contraindications. All your insurance companies will need you to do this. If you don't do this part, they won't insure you. So make sure you get a consultation form for every single client. They don't have to fill it out every time. You have to keep it for 7 years. It used to be 5. They've changed it to 7. But once they've filled out one form, you don't need to worry again. So even if they haven't come back to you for 3 years, you're fine because you've still got their form. What I do, again, is something I would recommend for you guys to do. I do tend to get the form out every treatment and just say, has anything changed since you filled out this form? So if they did a consultation form 2 years ago. They've come back to you. Now, this is only consultation form. We're going to do patch testing in a minute. But if they've gone, so they've gone away for 2 years, you haven't seen them, they've come back, you can get your consultation form out and just say to them, has anything changed? Blah, blah, blah. So that's what I tend to do as well. You can do other forms where you can add and get them to sign it every time. You can do that. But you have to get them to fill out a consultation form on their first visit. And like I said, you should be using your consultation time to have a look, see if there's any contraindications, that they can have the treatment, etc. So when your first new customer comes to you, make sure you allocate about 10 minutes onto the treatment for the form to be filled in, and your little chat with them. I also then go into what sort of looks they like on my consultation with them. So if they're under 16, well, I wouldn't do anyone under 16. Your insurance won't let you. However, with proms and things like that, I feel that 16 is okay. Your insurance company will say, well, yeah, okay. However, they can't sign the form. So if they're under 18, I think that's really harsh. You can have a baby at 16. Why can't you have eyelashes done without your parents' permission? Anyway, I normally say about 17, 18, they sign their own forms, but your insurance company will have to say, if they're 16, get their parents to sign it. Now, another thing I do if it's for a prom, I get the parents to actually be in the room when you're discussing the looks and let the parents say, yeah, that's fine, they can have that. Because you guarantee a 16-year-old is going to want the fullest, longest, thickest lashes. Now, she'll go home, amazing, beautiful lashes like this, and the mum would be like, oh my God, what have you done? They'll then be phoning you up and you'll get the blame. So if I'm doing somebody for a prom and they're 16, I make sure that the parents are there and they are happy with the decision that the customer has made regarding the lashes. So now, the looks I offer, I don't ever get my lashes out and say, here you go, what lashes would you like? Have a little pick. You'd be there all day. And rarely will you ever have anybody that says, I have C0.10 lashes, and I have them 13, 12, 11. They're never ever going to know that. It is so rare. I've had it twice in my whole entire lash time. And one of them was somebody who was coming to me from somebody else, and she sneakily looked to see what lashes she was using. So again, it is really rare. I offer them 3 looks. You could offer them 4 looks. So this is the same for Russians, but we're not going to get bogged down with that. Russians is on Wednesday. Today, we're only talking about individuals. So this is 3 looks. You could offer 4. I offer 3. Now, I'll start with the first one. So natural. So again, we're going to do this when we do the practical. So don't worry about anything. If this doesn't make sense, I'm going to refresh on it when we do the practical. Show you how you can see what lengths to use when we do the practical. So I offer natural. Now, what natural is the same length as their own lashes, but they're always going to be slightly thicker. So you would put the same length, but just slightly thicker on for them. That would be a natural look. I then offer a mascara look, and I tell them a mascara look is a look that an amazing, almost like a fiber mascara, but better, is going to give you. Now, what that is that is a little bit longer than their own eyelashes, but a lot, it would be thicker, but that would give them a nice mascara look. The third look I offer is a full-on look, a full-on glam look. So in this video, when we do the practical, I'm going to go back to a lot of stuff that I'm telling you now, So there is going to be some things that you might think, oh, she said about this earlier. But yeah, it's just so that I could show you and physically have you see how I measure the lashes, what I would class, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, the full-on glam look would be the longest lashes that their lashes could handle and the thickest lashes. So we would never, ever, ever use, I personally wouldn't use anything past a 0.20 in thickness. If you never use a 0.30, the reason being is they range. So for you individuals, I would say use 0.7 all the way up to a 0.20. So 7, 8, was it? Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can use all of those thicknesses. Now, and work your way up, like I said, to a 0.20. A 0.30 that you will see on the markets, they literally are only for models. So what they're used for is photo shoots. And then they're removed straight away. A 0.30, anything higher than a 0.25 is so bad for their own eyelashes. It will make the lashes heavy. It will start to damage their own lashes. On photo shoots with a 0.30 thickness, they are removed straight away. So they're not left on long at all. So when you look at photos and you have these people with amazing lashes, 9 times out of 10, they're strip lashes, but sometimes they can be individual. But they are taken off straight away. So you never go to that thickness. Now, the fourth look you could offer that I never do is a flick look, it's called. I don't like this look. I think it takes just as long as a full set, and you can't charge as much for a full set. Also, I don't understand why people have this done, because you still have to wear mascara. So what a flick look is the end of their eyes about here going along. So it's only, say, a quarter of their eyes along. The reason why I don't like this is because you've got to be really careful. You've got to step down when you're finishing. You've got to step down to their natural length so that it blends in. Does that make sense? If you were to put eyelashes on all the way along and then just stop, it's going to look silly on their eyes. So what you would have to do is put eyelashes all the way along and then gradually step down to their natural lash length. You guys got that? Does that make sense? So that's a flick look. Because it could take a while of blending down to their natural lash, that is why I don't bother anymore. You're still going to need mascara on these ones. So I always think it's a bit of a waste of money, if I'm honest. Now, they're the looks that you offer. And like I said, you can do the sponges. Again, I'm going to do this when you can see the camera facing down, so that they can see what the looks are. Oh, these chairs aren't very comfy to sit on for that long, to be honest. Let's do a little jig while I'm just waiting to see if you guys were all right and that was clear, or do you need me to explain anything again? So another thing that I want to say as well is the makes of lashes. So it's up to you who you use. I obviously have my own branded lashes out, which it took me ages to perfect. And I am really proud of them. I love them. And I actually personally think they're the best. Best for Russians, I'd say. Because I mainly do Russians now, really. Not a lot of people tend to have individuals. They kind of got converted when I learnt my my Russian training again about 8 years ago, I think it was. So we're going to do again on the practical how you're going to measure the lashes. But one thing I want to say is, say, excuse my ET fingers, say that is their natural lash length. Don't put anything on there. If I went, oh yeah, look, she wants the longest, thickest lashes that I've got. So you put lash on there, Can you see this bit? There is nothing for it to grip to. So this is just free on its own. It's going to get heavy for that little lash here, the natural lash that you've put it on. It's going to get heavy. So it's going to cause it to droop. As it's drooping, can you see you're pushing my finger down? That is applying pressure on that lash. So that lash will just then come out. And you can then damage the lashes by doing that too often. So what you want to do, so if they're saying to you natural, I would put a natural lash on the same length but same thickness. If they're saying mascara, I would say a little bit longer than their own lashes. If it was a full-on glam look, you could go, how I use it is half of their natural lash length longer. So half their natural lash, pop it on, and then that would be your full-on glam, because that's still got, look, that's not pushing down. That is literally quite nice and healthy. This lash, your natural lash, is going to gradually grow out. So when the new hair lash, I haven't got enough fingers, when the new hair lash is growing through, it's like a teeth. It will push that natural lash out. So our natural lash here with our extension on, nice and healthy, will then just fall out, and you'll end up with a little stubby hair because that's literally just growing through. It's the different cycle. So if you have baby hairs like that, I always say don't apply a lash to it, because it is hair that is literally just growing through. Unfortunately, lashes are the first thing to go the older you get. So normally women in their early 30s, their lashes start shrinking, not growing as long as what they used to. This isn't always the case. I've got a friend, she's got amazing lashes still, and I won't tell her how old she is because I can't remember if she joined the group or not. She's still got really good lashes. So sometimes that isn't always the case, but 9 times out of 10, a woman in her 50s is probably only going to be a length of, say, 9 millimeters. But again, that isn't always the case. Some people are lucky to still have longer lashes, but you can normally, the more sets that you do, you can start judging people's ages by their lashes. It's mad. It's another little party trick. So not only will you be able to see what side they sleep on, you'll be able to roughly guess their age. Anyone got any questions for me? No? I'll wait a while because I know there is a delay. Yep, we've caught up. Now, eyelash extensions do not damage your own eyelashes. So if a client says to you, oh, but they damaged my eyelashes last time I had them done, they shouldn't. If they're applied correctly and they're not too heavy, they don't ruin the own eyelashes. If your client rubs their eyes, then they will, because as they're rubbing, I'm really bad. I'm an eye rubber and it has damaged my eyelashes, but they're damaging the hair follicles. Plus, what they're actually doing is rubbing their own. They're going to pull out their own lashes. So be really careful with them. They can't damage them. If people wear contact lenses, let's make sure they don't have them on when you're doing your treatment, because reason being is if you need to go near them with remover and that gets in their eyes, that can damage their eyes with the contact lenses in. So just if they wear contact lenses, they can have eyelashes, but make sure they remove them when they come to have the treatment done. Can I go swimming with the eyelashes on? Yes, they can. If you have somebody that swims a lot, obviously not while we're in isolation unless they're lucky, but if you've got somebody who likes to go swimming, then yeah, they could have the eyelashes done. However, they might not last as long. And the reason being is The reason being is because they're swimming, they're getting the wet all the time. They can't get the lashes wet for 24 hours. So after that, they can go swimming. When you're on holiday, you do. So yes, they can, but they might find that they fall out quicker. Okay. Do I have to come back to you to have them removed? I charge £5 for a removal. I advise them to come back to me, yes, because I'd rather them come to me than pick them out and ruin their own eyelashes, and then it's all, oh, I picked them out and I ruined them. So I prefer them to come to me, and that way it keeps their lashes nice and healthy. How long do eyelashes last for? Sorry, eyelashes, you'll notice them coming back every 2 weeks for an infill. Now, some people are good. Some people can go longer. But I would say expect a 2 week, them coming to you every 2 weeks. Now, some of my clients, again, we're going more into this with Russians. It's not really the case with individuals, but you can do a weekly price. So if you've got somebody, you could do a 2 week price, a 3 week price. I tend to do a 2 week price of half price of the lashes because you're doing an infill. And then I tend to do a 3 week price I don't offer, but you could offer a bit more for a 3 week, and then a 4 week, you're probably looking at a brand new set again. Can I wear mascara? Is a really popular question. Now, you can, it has to be oil-based mascara. Since doing eyelashes, I used to, when I was growing up, I used to always wear waterproof mascara. I don't anymore because it's so hard to get off. You rub your eyes a lot more to scrub it off. So again, you're damaging the hair follicles. So I always say to my clients, stay away from waterproof mascara. Yeah, it's great when you're on holiday and stuff, but in general, I don't anymore. It has to be an oil-based mascara. Again, you could have a little bit of research. There is a L'Oreal one they do. But to be honest, they can't rub their eyes when they've had the treatment done. So how they're going to get that mascara off is up to them. So I always say they shouldn't need to anyway. I want to talk a little bit about... I was talking for an hour. I said it probably wouldn't be. I want to talk a little bit about infills. Now, infills are really hard to teach you. So what I would say an infill is an infill is where this is really up to you. You have to toughen up a little bit when you're in beautician because people will try and take the mickey. But an infill is 50% eyelashes on their eyes. No, an infill is not one eyelash on each eye. That's a full set. So you will get it. I've had it so many times and they're like, oh yeah, but it was an infill yesterday, but I woke up this morning and they're all off. But no. What a lot of people tend to do is pick their lashes because they know they're coming to have their treatment. And then they think they just need to pay an infill price, which is half price from the eyelashes. No, that is a full set. Now, what you will do is you will work your way through the lashes, have a look, see ones that are grown out massively and you think they're not going to last 2 weeks, take them off and reapply a new one. Again, we're going to show a bit more of this at the practical. If they are really hanging on and they're crossing over a little bit, take it off, put a new one. So because our lashes each lash is at a different cycle each time, you shouldn't have, some shouldn't have any growth, some you will, so you'd remove them. But it is a case of just looking and seeing how long you think those lashes are going to last by the growth. Okay. Now I want to talk about sterilising. I never knew this until I worked at one salon. You can sterilise your glue rings. So to sterilise your glue rings and reuse them again, what you could do is soak them in Barbicide. So Barbicide I personally feel is the best for sterilising your lash tools, your tweezers. So the only thing out of the lashes that you'll be sterilising is your tweezers and your glue rings. So soak them in the Barbicide. When you buy Barbicide, mix it with water. It doesn't go straight in. It needs to be mixed with water, so it does last a long time. Anyway, pop that in, leave it to soak for a while, and then the glue, you can just pick off the glue and your glue ring's ready to use again. So I used to always just be binning them, didn't realise. But that's a little tip for you. Don't ever throw your lashes away. If you've got lashes that are left over, you can pop them back in your tray and ready to use for your next client. So what I always do is I keep my lasher tray that I used out so that you're not mixing them. You haven't forgotten what goes where or what trays you've used, what lashes, blah, blah, blah. Because you've got the different curls, which is there, and the big black that you can't see. Where is my camera on here? Oh, there you go. You've got the different curls, so you don't want to mix them up. All right. So then you can just pop them back in your tray and reuse for your next client. So a little bit about materials, sorry, I was going to say earlier. A little bit about the different kinds that you get. They're synthetic lashes. Now, if you have a vegan client and you've heard of mink lashes that some suppliers use, it isn't an animal that they've gone and plucked and used in their hair. It's not real mink. So if they're saying I'm vegan, I can't use mink lashes, they're not actual minks. People haven't gone and plucked a mink to put on eyelashes. It's just the name of the synthetic that they use. I like silk lashes. Again, it doesn't mean that they're silk. They're a lot softer and a lot fluffier, and they're nice. I personally feel nicer. I've always used it. Silk lashes. Mink, I do have mink here. However, I find that mink could be quite hard. Okay. So yeah, if they're mink and somebody says I can't have them, they are not, because I've had this, they are not mink. Right. Always give them an aftercare leaflet to take away, because they won't pay any attention to what you're telling them. Some of them do, don't get me wrong, but you normally find that it would help cut down on them coming back to you and saying, am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed to do that with my lashes on? So what I do is I've created, and it is online on your manual, not download it, but copy that, get it on your nice logo, get it on a card, and then literally give that to your customers. Also, it's a good marketing tool. So what they could do is they sat down when the pub's open. They sat down in the pub with their friends, and the friend says, oh, I really like your lashes. Where should you get that done? And they could be, oh, hang on a minute, and they get it out. And then that's how your name can spread as well. So I do think it's a really good marketing tool. With regards to upsells, with individuals, there's not really much that you could upsell to them, if I'm honest. You can tell them, if they ask you how do they keep them clean. Now, this is a tip for you. If they want to know how to keep them clean, what you could suggest is baking soda, baby shampoo, and miscellaneous water. Mix all that together, and then just little circular motions, that will help clean it. However, don't you mix it and sell it. So what you could do, because anything that you mix and sell has to be regulated. It used to be by EU, but we still would have to follow the EU rules. But if you wanted to sell a cleaning solution like how I've just described it and make it yourself, if anybody had a problem or a reaction, you wouldn't be covered. It has to be, you have to have the list of ingredients on the back, and it has to be tested, which is going to cost about £1,000. So, but what you could do instead is buy those 3 ingredients and then just pop them in a bag, and That way you don't have to pay the £1,000 fee, and they've got their cleaning products. One thing I do want to say is it's your business. I'm here to help you. What you do outside the training isn't any of my business. However, I do hate it when I see people say, oh yeah, I could do your lashes tonight. Never met you in my life before. You've never come to me for lashes before. Now, I'm allergic to eyelashes, and I do, if I'm honest, it's not a pleasant experience. I just gradually built up a reaction. However, if you do not patch test your customer before they come to you, you won't be covered. So if they have an accident and you've gone to them and you've done them and you haven't patch tested them, you basically, your insurance is void. You won't, they won't help you. You will be personally sued. So don't risk it. And you'd never get beauty insurance again. So all your money, everything you've worked hard for, will be gone. I saw it you see it all the time. America, I don't know. America has such strong rules with lashes. You have to be cosmetic trained. You have to have a license. Obviously, it varies from state to state. I saw something on Facebook the other day, and it took everything in my power not to comment. I was bored. That's not the point. But they're on lockdown. Beauty salons have closed. Hairdressers have closed. This woman said, it was the way she spoke to everyone. She was so rude to everyone. She told them all to F off and everything. Anyway, she says she'd done the client yesterday, and the client's then sent a photo, which she attached, and has got a reaction. Now, everyone was like, we're in isolation. Why did you do her eyelashes? No, she said because she was booked in before the isolation took place. And she then started backtracking, saying she didn't do it the day before. It was done before the isolation lockdown, which couldn't have been the case. She was obviously backtracking because she'd gone out, done somebody's lashes the lockdown. Right, I'm just reading your comments. Sorry, Nikki. I'm going to get back to you in that in a sec. But yeah, when she's in lockdown, she shouldn't have gone and done those lashes. Her insurance wouldn't have covered her. If this woman now goes and sues her, she's lost everything. So don't do it. Now, Nikki, your comment here, when I have had individuals before, I've never needed a patch test, but I've never needed a patch test, but I've never needed one for Russians. So whoever you're going to, basically, if you were to get a reaction, you could sue them because they're not insured. They're not. Everybody, individual and Russian, have to be patch tested. There is no reason, none at all. Even if you've gone to another beautician, then you still have to patch test them because you're using different glue. So how do you not know that they're going to have a reaction to the glue that you've brought, but yet not to another supplier? It does happen. So if any of your treatments and you're not being patch tested for them, that is worrying. Also, you don't have to patch test them every single time. I'm still thinking about your comment, Nikki. You don't have to patch test them every single time. If they haven't come to you for 6 months, I would patch test. If they haven't come to you for 6 months, a baby, patch test. So basically, a rule of thumb, if they haven't been to you for 3 to 6 months, patch test again. You're welcome, Nikki. But yeah, patch test them again. Because our hormones change regularly, especially us women. So therefore, you could build a reaction up for absolutely anything at any time. Exactly like how I did. There is, Nikki, what I'm going to do, and again, Janine, I'm going to do this for you as well. Who else do I have on here? So Nikki and Janine, I'm going to write this down. I'm going to send you an article that I show in my courses, face-to-face courses. Now, I hate this article. I print it off, like I said, and show everybody or get it up on my laptop, and you'll see how important it is to patch test. Basically, a salon in Essex didn't. They got sued, taken to court. You see pictures of how bad her reaction was. Don't scaremonger you. It is the worst case that I have seen. However, it does happen. And I don't want you lot to build up a business and work really hard, have loads of clients and have something go wrong. And if I can help you prevent it. So basically, just don't risk it. There's no point in risking your business. So the woman sued the salon. The salon said they patched. There's so much more to this story, but I'll send it all over to you. The woman said, the salon said they didn't need to patch test her. They used sensitive glue. That is not the case. But yeah, so she used sensitive glue. She had the treatment done. They refused to remove them when she started to get a bit of a reaction up. She ended up in hospital 3 days. It got into her blood system. Oh, yeah. Thank God, Janine. I love it when I hear people saying they do that. Yeah, so it got into her blood system. She sued the salon. The salon said, but actually it wasn't us. We patch test all our customers. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the person who applied the lashes. Now, this was probably a young girl working for a salon, thought the salon, she would be covered in the salon insurance, etc., working for them, and she got sued 100 grand. Now, if you don't have 100 grand in your bank account, like a lot of us, she will never get a beauty insurance again, so she'll never ever be able to work again in the beauty industry. She will never be able to own a house until that 100 grand's paid off. She'll never be able to have any assets until that 100 grand paid off, because that person, that lady, can come back at any time and say, that's my 100 grand. It's done by the court. She lost. So don't risk it. Please, please, please do not risk it. It's coming from somebody who has a reaction. It isn't nice at all. Don't, Nikki, when you weren't patch tested, did they get you? Did they get you? Sorry, did they get you a form, a waiver form to sign? A waiver form to sign, just out of interest. Because what some places do, and I don't know if they obviously know this, a waiver form, if you get your customer to sign a waiver form, like some of them say, oh, it's all right, I'll sign a form and say that I can't sue you, that doesn't stand up in court. So that would be thrown out straight away. So if you think you're going to be able to get people to sign a waiver form and you'll be covered, that is not the case. What that actually does, yes, they did. Yeah. So what that form actually does is it makes people think, because they've signed that form, that you wouldn't take it further. But solicitors and the court would not even look at that waiver form, just to let you all know. So you're lucky. Right, with patch testing as well, you can write it on your consultation form. However, I don't know about you guys. I have my beauty rooms, my training room, is attached to my mum's house, but it's the front of the house. So don't worry, when I'm coming in here, you can see I'm on my own. I'm not actually physically going into the house. So I'm not house hopping. But it's yeah, so my forms are in lockups, in my flat, can be everywhere for people that haven't been for a long time. So in case you're worried about losing anything like that, but you need to be careful, don't lose your consultation forms, I have a book, because you don't get them to fill their consultation form out until the day of their treatment. However, with patch testing, check with your insurance. I know ABT is 24 hours, some are 48 hours. I still like to do 48 hours because when I have a reaction, I come up in 48 hours. So 24 hours wouldn't be long enough for me to know I've had a reaction. However, your insurance would cover you if you've done it within that time frame. So what you could do is, this is my patch testing book. Patch testing book. I'm going to start going crazy in a minute. And in here, you can see the date, what I've patch tested them for, their name and their signature. So I always say get a book and keep it like that. Like I said, you can see I've got 2016 in there and it goes all the way up until today. So if anything was to happen, you can go back and say, well, this was the date she was patch tested. Here's her signature. All makes sense? Right. You can buy coloured lashes, just to let you know as well. What I am going to do now is, thank you. I am going to have a 5-minute break. Might go make myself a cup of coffee. What I will do is be back on, let's say 10 minutes. What do you guys want to do? And I know I've got Janine and Nikki watching. So you two, do you want a 20-minute break, 10-minute break? Just so that I can set up doing the camera facing down and make myself a drink? Or would you want just 10 minutes or 20 minutes? You two could decide. This is quite fun. Are you guys enjoying it already? Let me know if you've got any questions or anything. The reason why I can't transfer you over, oh, thank you, is because I've got to set up my lamp, and I was worried it was going to cut you out, and I didn't want you sat looking at the mannequin as I'm talking for the last hour and 15 minutes. So this is why I have to give us a break, and also I'm dying for the toilet, so that's another reason. Right then, guys. Okay, I'm going to give us... Oh, great, Janine, I love it. Good. I can't wait for your kit to arrive either, Nikki, by the way. And I saw a comment, Nikki. What was it you said? Hang on. I had Malibu at 9:30 a.m. yesterday. I love that. I'm going to be, I think I might have a drink this evening. Lovely day. I've got a disposable barbecue at home and some sausages in the freezer. I might have a mini barbecue. Oh, mind you, everyone's hating that on Facebook, aren't they? Right, guys. What I will do then is I'm going to come back at 1:30. If you've got any questions, like I said, I'm just literally popping to the toilet, getting myself a cup of tea, and then I'll be straight back. So if you think of any questions in the meantime, please let me know. This training course as well is for all of you. So if you feel that I can improve in some way, like speaking slower, or want me to recap on something, just private message me and I will get that rectified and sorted and take it on board. But right, I will see you two then at 2:30. See you in a mo, guys. And this is at 2:30, we're going to be doing our practical. So I know, Janine, you're lashing a sponge, which is fantastic. Oh, Nikki, darling, I know you haven't got your kit yet, but fingers crossed it's going to come tomorrow. And yeah, I will see you in 15 minutes. Just over 15 minutes. See you guys. Mwah.